Here we are, once again, starting to stream. Let's get going. Hey, hey, we're trivia junkies. Hello, inner peas. Good evening, and welcome to another night of trivia. Pigeon Mac, good evening, and welcome. Welcome, everyone. I hope we had a great weekend. Wait for some people to show up, and then we'll get this party started. Tonight, it's a criminal mind or just a fan of crime. Tammy Hall. Howdy, 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 guys. Howdy, Tammy, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Been not bad, just working, hoping your weekend was good. It was good. Cement Shiz, good evening. Anita, good evening, and welcome to tonight's trivia. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we're going to get this party started. I hope everyone had a pleasant weekend. I did some gardening the other day. Uh, Tulips and stuff like are coming. The bulbs are coming up, so I got them the flower beds weeded and then I put in more organic material from our compost pile. So not a whole lot, but I got something done. You know, I got something checked off my list. That's for sure. I went down the rabbit hole with Lake and Ning videos. Sorry, I did. Well, they're an interesting couple. Well, I don't know. They're interesting individuals in what they did. Don't think we have any questions about Lake and Ning on tonight's. There's some serial killer questions though. Another 40 seconds. And we get this started. Lori Sutton, good evening, Lori, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Samantha Master McDowell. Good evening, everyone. My daughter has been looking forward to watching you. Well, good. Rackart, good evening, Rackart. I sucked buttermilk last weekend. LOL. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get the first question up on the screen. There's the first question. Get myself my little window. There we go. There are fans and there are super fans of serial killers. Out of every 1,000 fans of any serial killer, how many are considered super fans? Well, thank you for the super chat, Anita Butts. Lemon character moving in excitement. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. A superfan is defined as someone who follows crimes, collects personal items of the killer or victims, know more about the killer than their own family. And these people actually refer to themselves as superfans. You can meet a lot of these people in person if you go to CrimeCon. They have breakout groups where they get together and they trade and sell memorabilia. They collect it, and they talk and they share stories about, correspondence with serial killers. It's amazing. Liked and shared. Cool. How many out of 1,000 fans are super fans? Or is Sutton's going to go with 100 out of 1,000? It's some D's. Changing my answer to D. Anita is A. Cement shoes, A. Purple. Good evening, Purple. Welcome to tonight's trivia questions. Trivia, the game. We are on question number 1. You may notice that the display, for the trivia night has changed. I cleaned it up a lot and made more room for the question and moved the number for which one is all the way over to the right now. Charlotte Bassett, hello from Mississippi. Why do we like true crime shows so much? Charlotte, a lot of it comes down to psychology. It's something that has been instilled in the human brain, that to learn about what things have happened, as opposed to how people have been victims of crimes, so we can, somehow avoid them or think that we're going to be able to avoid them. Of course, that I'm going by what in the psychology textbooks that are behind me. There's more to it than that. Tammy Hall, Barry Morphew answers 0, none, nada. This time you're not on 70s, 80s TV, Will. That's true. All right, question number 1. The correct answer is D as in dog. 10 out of every 1,000 fans of true crime or crime is actually considered a super fan. They're a very small portion, but they are out there. D as in dog. And like I said, you can meet a lot of these individuals in person. They go to crime cons, and they also have other memorabilia and conventions that they gather at each and every year. And there are websites that are set up just for these people. So they have rooms, they chat, they message each other. Now, I'm not talking about people who are on web sleuths or something like that, but these are people that are a little bit more of extreme, if you will. Nothing wrong with that, though, in case you are one of the super fans. Okay, going on to question number 2. As of the end of 2022, according to the Department of Justice, the DOJ, how many women are currently on death row in America? Is it A, 1,218, B, 1,092, C, 50, or D, 63? That's 10,000 out of a million. Yeah. Woo, woo, they're out there. How many women are currently on death row in America? Pigeon Max going with C? Question mark? I don't know. I hope not many, says Pigeon Mac. Well, women who are on death row and women who kill are a very small proportion of the total society, even though they may outnumber males, in certain, geographic locations. They tend to think with their heads a lot more and not be as aggressive or, and kill. Oops. Starfire. Good evening, Starfire and Short Nights. Good evening to you both, and welcome to tonight's trivia. We are currently on question 2. At the end of 2022, according to the Department of Justice, the DOJ, how many women are currently on death row in America? To the left of Elaine Wernos. Out of all the the people out there, serial killers and those who have been executed, she's probably the one and only one that I feel the most sorry for. Her entire life was just a giant, excuse my language, but shit bag. She didn't have much of a chance in this world. Every chance that someone was supposed to be there to protect her, they used her, abused her for whatever they needed, over and over and over again. As of the end of 2022, according to the Department of Justice, how many women are currently on death row in America? How many women? What average time of death row before they kick the bucket? What's the average time on death row? Short, nice. The average for someone who has been sentenced to die, if they work all their appeals out through court, it takes approximately 27 years is the average that somebody will be on death row before they're finally executed. Now, that's only in the states where they don't have a moratorium on the death penalty. Some states don't have an official moratorium. They just can't get the drugs for lethal injections, like the state of Idaho. So, what the state of Idaho did was the politicians all got together and they voted to bring back the firing squad because they don't even have an electric chair or a gas chamber to use. So they moved everything to what they call a more humane method of carrying out the execution, which is lethal injection. And they're like, well, okay, now what? Anita, she would not be killed today. I feel sorry for her. Yeah, 2 hours in Texas. Yeah, Texas uses they very well use the death row. They carry it out. Okay, how many women are on death row? The correct answer is C, as in cat. 50. There are only 50 women in America on death row right now. 50 in the entire United States. I don't have the exact number of how many men are on death row, but it's way, way more than 50. Now the lethal injection is inhumane. Well, that breaks down to Pfizer. Pfizer makes 3 out of 4 of the drugs that are used for lethal injection, and Pfizer is refusing to sell the drugs to the states that have uh, who are actively using the death penalty. They refuse to sell them to the states, so they can't get the drugs to carry out the final sentence of these people who are been condemned to die. And death penalty is going to be stopped by all states. Texas has an express lane for executions. Yeah, they seem to. I always joke that if Texas could, they would put in electric bleachers so they could, zap 10 or 15, inmates at once. They're going to use it. All right, moving on to question number 3. To be considered a true psychopath, one must be diagnosed by a professional, which must be done in person over the course of several meetings. What are the 2 main characteristics every diagnosed psychopath has? Is it A, lack of empathy and remorse, B, a low IQ and a violent background, C, a pet mountain lion and a pile of meth, or D, lack of empathy and low IQ? Page Max going with A. Tammy A. Rycart A. Sal. Good evening, Sal. And day by day, welcome to you both. Thank you for joining us for trivia night. I hope you both had a wonderful week. Samantha is going with A. Awesome Pfizer. Lemon Pie. Good evening, Lemon Pie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great week and weekend. Asking for a friend. E, addictions to 70 sitcoms. To be considered a true psychopath, one must be diagnosed by a professional, which must be done in person over the course of several meetings. And the reason why it must be done over the course of several meetings is so they can get a complete understanding of the individual, to make sure that the individual is not trying to convince them of something that they are not. That's why, and they will ask the same questions over basically four meetings, and in different ask the questions in different ways to see if they can trip the individual up into giving up that they're falsifying the information. That's why something like where Ed Kemper convinced the state of California that he wasn't criminally insane anymore, because he memorized the answers and the answers to the questions. So when they asked him about if he was insane, criminally insane still, he was able to convince them, no, I'm totally fine. I can go home now. Which then he went home and committed more murders. Serendipity 77, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Barry Morphew says right card. Oh, that would be weird. Freaking Barry Mountain Lion Morphew. Okay, question number 3. The correct answer is A as in apple. A lack of empathy and remorse. It's not C. I thought for sure it was going to be C, a pet mountain lion and a pile of meth. But apparently it's not. But Amelia, good evening, Amelia. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All right, question number 4. Looking at just the numbers of murder rates from 1977 to 2007, what was the murder rate for murders by a domestic partner? A domestic partner is anyone who lives with the victim and or is in a relationship or related to the victim. That is the criminal defense. It does not mean that they are necessarily in a relationship with that person. They can be considered a domestic partner underneath the law in most states if you just reside. If you could be roommates, and they would say it would fall into the same category. There's a lot more to it than what I have obviously the room for. But anyways, what is the murder rate for a domestic partner between 1977 and 2007? Is it A, 3 out of 5, B, 4 out of 5, C, 1 out of 5, or D, 2 out of 5? Starfire and Tommy are going with A. Pigeon Mac is going with B. 1977 to 2007 murder rate for domestic partner. And for the record, I don't agree with the definition of what a domestic partner is underneath the legal standards. I think that somebody who's a domestic partner is in a committed relationship with the individual. But not all laws see it the same way in all states. They consider somebody who is domestic partner could be, your ex-husband who is living in the spare bedroom down the hall. That could be a domestic partner. Or your ex-wife who's renting the basement. Seen you earlier in Jessica's too. I went with B, but a lot of serial killers at the same time too. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed. 4 out of 5 dentists. 8 out of 10 mountain lions. Kitty cat. That's a kitty cat, isn't it? Domicile, domestic. Anita is going with B. 4 out of 5. Purple's going with D. 2 out of 5. Whiskers. Meow, meow. I have a video up on the Taco podcast of all of our cats. We actually have 5, 4 that live indoors. But we have 5 total. Tender Vitos, LOL. Cats domesticate themselves because humans leave food. All right. Question number 4. The correct answer is C as in cat. C as in cat. Only 1 out of 5 murders between 1977 and 2007 were done by a domestic partner. But all that changed in 2008 and going through to 2021. There is no numbers for 2022 yet. But 2021, the actual number now is 2 out of 5. Unfortunately, we're going the wrong direction. We would hope that it would get less, but half of every, half of one. You have to have one, right? It has to be a whole number because you're a whole person who's murdered. I have 5 cats too. 1 is mine. The other 4 are my daughters and granddaughters. LOL. Of the 5 cats, Amelia, that we have, all of the cats, 4 of the cats are my wife and my daughters, and I have 1. I have the 5th one. He lives here. He lives next door, and then the house down on the corner, he lives there, and everybody feeds him. He's as round as a bowling ball now. Yeah, but he put on a lot of weight after we got him fixed. And now everybody feeds him. They're like, "Oh, he's the greatest cat. He gets along with our cat." I'm like, yeah, because he just rolls on into your yard. Can't have a kitten. My English Mastiff thinks they are meals on wheels. Mastiffs are pretty big dogs. I can understand that. All right, going on to question number 5. Question 5. According to the FBI, the DOJ, and Homeland Security, in order to be considered a serial killer, how many people must you kill? And yes, you kill. Only counting the numbers here, not the method or time frame. How many people must you kill in order to be considered a serial killer? Is it A, 10, B, 21, C, 5, or D, 3. I've been in domestic disputes where the son smashed every window out of the house that was a domestic dispute. Anita, I unfortunately have been there, in that my mother did that to me and to my wife. Um, Now you have to understand, put in context though, she's got the mentality of an, on a good day of like a 10-year-old. She's a head trauma survivor, but she was a real piece of work before her head injury. But I was at work, and I'm not entirely sure what set her off that day, but she just started going around with a hammer and smashing out every window in my house. It cost me almost $6,000 to replace every window. Insane, but she did it. You're a head trauma survivor as well, Pigeon Mac? You have bad days too? Yeah, we all do. We got good days and bad days. Hopefully, you're able to put more good days together than bad days. Purple's going with D. I had a Mastiff. She loved cats and was very gentle and nurturing. I found that terriers are worse with other small animals. Hmm. My sister's she had a Mastiff. Now she's got a Saint Bernard and some other giant ass dog. Can't remember what the hell it is, what breed. I've never had anything but German Shepherds. SO helped. They are more good than bad. Oh, that's good. They hate cats, but love possums. Go figure. Huh. JDR is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia, JDR. According to the FBI and Department of Justice and Homeland Security, in order to be considered a serial killer, how many people must you, yes, you, kill? Only counting the numbers here, not method or time frame. How many people must you kill in order to be considered a serial killer? Yep, you're right. It turns the phone upside down. I can't. I almost missed you. I'm that busy being retired and all. Oh, someday I hope to retire, but I highly doubt that even if I retire, I would not do what I'm doing now. I'd probably just do it half as much. One of them found a baby possum. He was sick, so I nursed him back to health, and they grew up together. Oh, that's cool. By the way, I missed Saturday morning. Well, I have a new show on Saturday morning, Short and Ice. You can find it on my channel. The first episode dropped yesterday. It's called 411 Morning Now, but it's not a live show anymore. Start every morning at 8 a.m. The video starts off, and it's a recap of the true crime cases that have updates and new cases that are that started that week. Saw your Saturday morning show. Good. Day by day, I am retired RCMP officer. And thank you for your service, Anita. All right, question number 5. Well, in order to be considered a serial killer by the FBI, Department of Justice, and Homeland Security, you must kill at least 3. So D as in dog. You must kill 3 in order to be considered a serial killer. D as in dog. Question 6. Mama, you better know damn well who you're bringing into your home. Children are more likely to be murdered by the new lover than anyone else. What age are most of these children more likely to be murdered? Is it A, 2 years old, B, under 1 year old, C, 13 years old, or D, 5 years old? Who? Mama, you better know who you're bringing into your home. Children are more likely to be murdered by the new lover than anyone else. Almost reads like a country song. Amelia's going with D, JDR, A. Reichardt, A. Short, nice, A. It's really sad either way. Submit Shoes is going with B. Oh my, D. Ask Casey Anthony. Oh. Don't have any questions about Casey Anthony on this one, but I got another case. Someone I hate just as much. Well, I don't hate anybody. So I strongly dislike. Yes, it's a toss up between A and B to me. Anita is going with A. Mama, you better know damn well who you're bringing into your home. Children are more likely to be murdered by a new lover than anyone else. What age are most of these children more likely to be murdered? Purple A, comma, 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 B. It's one of the possibles. A and B is C or D or E or F. I'm between C and D, says Amelia. Amelia is going with D. I'm struggling with this reality in which we kill children. It's sad. It's sad, Pigeon Mac. I can't understand why anybody would want to harm an innocent child, but they do, unfortunately. All right, question number 6. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy, under 1 year of age. Unfortunately. So, according to the crime statistics for this one, 70% of all children that are murdered are less than 1 year of age. If the new spouse moves in and the child is less than a year old, they're more likely to be murdered. Unfortunately, additionally, for the new man who moves in, the new lover, and it's also a high likelihood that that person, if they don't murder him, may murder him. I gotta start over here. If that person moves in, they could murder that child, get rid of them. I don't know why. It's a different reason. Maybe they're a colicky baby or whatever it might be. But 70% of all murdered children are less than a year old. Additionally, on top of it, there's the high likelihood that the new man has moved in, that the mom has moved in, may molest the child. Then that not just for the young children, that's for all ages of children. Babies can't talk. That's horrible. Yikes. Yeah, it is. Fathers are often not present. Absolutely true. That's why mama better know damn well who she's bringing into the home. All right, going on to question 7. Excuse me. Robert Maudsley spent 50 years in what kind of cell? Robert Maudsley is more famously known as Hannibal Cannibal, one of the UK's most violent serial killers of all time. What type of cell did he spend 50 years in? Was it A steel cell, B, a glass cell, C, a cell with no walls chained to the floor, or D, a normal cell made of bricks? What type of cell did he spend 50 years in? B, 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 D. Sal's going with A. You'd do life for taking them out faster. Then they'd be caught for child abuse. Yeah, it's inner peace. A cell phone. He spent 50 years on a cell phone. Starfire A. Reichardt's going with D. A normal cell made of bricks. Hannibal Cannibal, one of the UK's most violent serial killers of all time. If y'all don't know who Robert Maudsley is, I would suggest you look him up. He was one sadistic SOB. Pity the cell wasn't a coffin shaped. Amelia is going with B. Only because the movie, I guess, B. What type of cell did Robert Maudsley spend 50 years in? Wouldn't he break the glass? LOL. Thumbs up for Will. Yes, don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you enjoy the trivia night. I would much appreciate it. 50 years in this one type of cell. JDR is going with B. Purple, B. F. Strung up like Dabney Coleman in 9 to 5 movie. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. Thanks for reminding me, Inner Peace. One can only hope. All right. Question 7. The correct answer is B as in boy, a glass cell. No, it wasn't like, thin window pane glass. It was a thick cell made out of glass so they could keep 24-hour a day watch on him. And kind of like the glass cell that Hannibal Lecter was in the movie Silence of the Lambs. So short and nice, you were actually pretty close there. But he spent 50 years in a glass cell. There's no place for him to hide. They could see all the way around it and anywhere, any one direction. So they knew what he was doing all times. He also spent extraordinary lengths of time in solitary confinement as well. Depending upon where you find the story of his incarceration, that they mix up some of the key elements of his crimes and his imprisonment for those crimes. Same Jeffrey Epstein didn't have that. All right, going on to question 8. Stay safe out there. I say that a lot and mean it. However, if you don't wish to be murdered, I would avoid traveling in this country, which has the highest rate of unsolved murders. Is it A, the United States, B, Mexico, C, Russia, including all the former bloc countries, or D, El Salvador? Which country has the highest amount of unsolved murders? I'm so proud of you. I remember that feeling a long time ago. Short Knife B, Tammy B. So she was going with D. Who's going with C? I gotta scroll back up. Pigeon Max going with C. Lemon Pie D. E, Disneyland. Disneyland have a high unsolved murder rate. I don't think people would want to go to Disneyland if they had a high unsolved murder rate. Purple and Starfire are going with D. Pigeon Mac, just E. E. I'm just going to go with E. And you stay safe out there. I'm still giggling about turning the phone upside down to read your profile name, Mac Pigeon. That's very clever. Yeah, Mac Pigeon, Pigeon Mac. It works. Oh, I don't have any. Stay safe out there. I say it a lot and I mean it. However, if you don't wish to be murdered, I mean, who wishes to be murdered, right? I would avoid traveling in this country, which has the highest rate of unsolved murders. In case you're curious on what the percentage is, they solve and close 1 out of every 16 murders. 1 out of every 16. That is very poor. 1 out of 16. Is it the United States, Mexico, Russia, including all the former bloc countries, or El Salvador? Blunt roll. Damn, sadly, can't play right now. Be nice to anyone. Good evening. Be nice to anyone. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Prepping dinner for tonight. Well, you can listen along. That always works. Be nice to anyone. All right, question 8. The correct answer is D as in dog, El Salvador. They close 1 out of every 16 homicides in the country. It's almost as if they're not really trying to solve murders in that state. In that country, I mean, El Salvador. Thanks, it did. Samantha, I'm chewing on flavored Tootsie Rolls. Ooh, that sounds good. I like the white ones, but regular Tootsie Rolls are good too. El Salvador. All right, moving on to question number 9. During Ted Bundy's murder trial, how many letters, yes, fan letters, did he receive on an average day? Is it, this does not count the packages and the 24 women who signed up to visit him while he was there for his trial? We're not talking about once he was moved to death row, but how many fan letters did he receive on an average day, per day? Average letters, the amount per day. Is it 100, B, 200, C, 300, D, 400? How many letters did Ted Bundy receive during the murder trial? Just the trial. Stand on your head. That's funny. Exactly, Amelia. Gonna go with C. I wrecked them. Yikes. Not trying. How many letters did Ted Bundy receive during their murder trial? The more the media showed him on the nightly news and during his murder trial, where he was acting a complete buffoon, the more letters he got. I'm not kidding. I wish I was, but he'd get more. The more they showed him on the news, the more the letters just kept on coming in. Excuse me. Fan mail. Fan mail. Not counting the packages or the 24 women. And by the way, none of those women, actually, I shouldn't say none of those women, only 3 of those women ever got to visit him while he was locked up at the county jail, during the actual murder trial itself. One would eventually become his wife. Crappy joke, Tammy Hall. He fit together like a horse in a carriage. One from his brother Al Bundy and on Married Children. Love the marriage. Love the love the marriage. Love the marriage. Love the marriage. That's good. Fit together like a horse and carriage. Oh, now I got that in my head. This will tell my brother you can't have one without the other. How many letters on an average day did Ted Bundy receive while going through the murder trial? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is A as in apple. 100 letters per day. He got them from all over the world. They didn't just come from here in America. As international news started to pick up the story and carry it, he got letters from everywhere. And oddly, some of the places where he received letters from the most internationally was Paraguay. BDU, smoke them if you got them. And hurry up and wait. All right, going on to question 10. Sticking with the topic of fan mail for serial killers, how many serial killers have received mail from other convicted serial killers who are fans of the other serial killer? Is it A, 32, B, 19, C, 24, or D, 63? How many serial killers have written to other serial killers? What those women didn't know, he was wasn't interested in women with pulses. Oh, Tammy, that's true though. Or ones with heads, because a lot of people forget that part about Ted Bundy. He decapitated quite a few of them. Serial Club. What the fuck? Yep. That, as you can see from the numbers, there's quite a few of them that have written to each other over the years. Short Nice is going with B, 19. Sal, B. Reichardt, C. F. Carol Baskin. Carol, I don't know if she's a serial killer, but I think she killed her husband, though. JDR is going with 32. How many serial killers have written to other serial killers that they are a fan of? And when they do write to each other, what do you think that they're sharing? Or you think they're talking about their crimes? Or you think they're sharing, recipes for chocolate cake? When I remodeled the kitchen, I let my sister do the artwork on the wall before I demolished the wall. She did a huge banner, "Welcome to Wanker Country." Like to see what they write. Yeah, well, there's probably people out there that have collected their letters. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Soft White Underbelly, um, but he's got an episode on there about where he interviews two men who are collectors of serial killer memorabilia, and one of them is JJ, or what is his name? The guy was like a punk rock singer, whatever. Damn pen pal, serial killers. I tell you, no shame at all. I tell you, like Gayla. Good evening, Gayla. Married with children, Wanker Country. Where they went wrong and got caught. Well, they could. They very well could. I hope you had a great weekend, Gayla. Oh, serial killers writing to each other. How many? Lori Sutton is going with B, 19. Sticking on the topic of mail from serial killers. How many serial killers have received mail from other convicted serial killers who are fans of the other serial killer? Question 10. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is C, as in cat, 24. 24 have written to other serial killers. BTK interacts on social media nowadays. Does he? Kyra Ora, good morning. 24. Weird. Yes. But, there's no restrictions, in that aspect of who they can write to and who they can't have write to them for the most part. They just can't profit from their crimes. I just made soup instead of going to Target for popcorn and a Slurpee. Probably BTK is in the chat tonight. Who knows, Reichardt? Who knows? He could be. I mean, Reichardt, you could be BTK for all I know. Are you? I doubt it. Brian Kohlberger, Moscow Murder, communicated with BTK. Did he? I did not know that. I know he was a criminal. He was a criminal justice major or something. He wanted to become a behavioral criminologist. He wanted to go into that field. At least that's looking at his course load that he was taking at WSU, Washington State University. Looking at his transcript, somebody leaked his transcript online. He was a good student. Fortunately, something else going on inside that head. Whenever I see BTK, I think of Burger King. All right, question 11. Which serial killer was honored for his volunteer work at Children's Hospital, where he painted pictures for everyone who was dying of cancer? Was it A, Ted Bundy, B, Joseph DeAngelo, C, John Wayne Gacy, or D, Richard Ramirez? I now want popcorn. I want bacon Whopper. Yeah, my local Burger King got rid of the Big Tex burger, which had jalapenos and bacon and the angry onions on it or whatever. It was a loaded burger. I mean, I only eat there maybe once every 3 months, but it's gone now. It's not even on the menu. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. E, Bob Ross. Which serial killer was once honored for his volunteer work at Children's Hospital? You like the Sourdough King? Yeah, I've had it once. It's not bad. That's not a bad burger. But like I said, I don't eat fast food very often. My hubby loved that burger, the Tex, the Big Tex, or the Angry Texas burger. I noticed that at least here where I am, they changed the name a couple of times. I think it was originally called like the Big Tex Whopper or Big Texas Whopper, and then they at least on the board, then they changed the name of it. Maybe it was always known as something else inside. I'm just talking about the drive-through board because I hardly ever go there, but I just noticed it was there once. I had it. It was awesome. I wanted it again when I went back like 3 months later and it was gone. Maybe it was only supposed to be here for a limited time. I don't know. It's Whopper time. Inner Peas, have it your way. Happy little trees. Bob Ross. Let's put a happy little tree right here, shall we? Here we go. A happy little tree. That's great. Add the reflection here in the water. I don't like Mickey D's, BK, etc. The only time I ever eat that stuff is when I'm not home. It's not like I'm going to go there and eat it and then come home. When I'm out of town, for whatever the reason is, if maybe I'm someplace and I'm getting court records or something, it's fast. I mean, obviously it's fast food, but you can get the same thing at it doesn't matter if it's here or 1,000 miles away. It's basically the same food. Me either. My little nephew, not little anymore, used to order chicken McNuggets and Burger King. Happy little trees. The voice makes me paint. All right. Which serial killer was once honored for his volunteer work at Children's Hospital? That would be none other than C, John Wayne Gacy. And he used to paint pictures for every child who was there dying of cancer. John Wayne Gacy. The documentary would be hilarious. He'd autograph every victim McPigeon. But John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown, loved to paint. All right, moving on to question 12. You are never safe even at home. What is the name of a female serial killer born in Alabama who killed 11 members of her family? Is it A, Nanny Doss, B, Anna Jones, C, Carol Pinkerton, or D, Susan Mama Jones? Killed 11 members of her own family. KFC, John Wayne Gacy. Yep. Kentucky Fried Chicken and John Wayne Gacy. Aussie Lily Rose, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Glad you could be here with us. 11 members. Wow. Yeah. E. Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical. Physical. I wanna physical. Wanna hear your body go. Body gone. Kentucky Fried Criminal. Thank you. It's been a minute. It has. But I hope you've been doing well. Aussie Lily Rose. I don't know. I don't know this one, says Amelia. Dance Mom. Ooh. I can't stand that show. I've seen a couple episodes on television. My friend wanted me to watch, how controlling, abusive these mothers were with their daughters, and that just pissed me off to no end. To watch them control them and critique them, and oh no, each and every one of those mothers on that show needed to be slapped. I'm not one to condone violence, but damn. Drama. Juicy Jules in the house. Good evening, Juicy Jules. Welcome to tonight's trivia. We are on question number 12. Me and Mrs. Jones. Guess on almost everything tonight. There you go. Now, maybe something will pique your interest, and when you have a spare minute, you'll look these people up. You never know. Those poor little girls are now either strippers or in therapy. I hope they're in therapy regardless of whatever they're doing. I hope they don't just keep the damn thing, the cycle of torment going and then pass that on down to their own kids. But the 2 episodes that I watched, you could tell that these mothers were living vicariously through their children. All right, question 12. You are never safe, even at home. What is the name of the female serial killer born in Alabama who killed 11 members of her family? The answer is A as in apple, Nanny Doss. Nanny Doss killed 11 members of her own family. Oh, not a very nice person there, Nanny Doss. Question 13. Amelia Dyer is by far one of the most prolific serial killers of all time. She all alone killed over 380 babies in her care. She got away with it because police didn't believe a woman could do this. How long did she do this? Was it A, 50 years, B, 20 years, C, 10 years, or D, 30 years? 380 babies. For the record, they believe it's actually much higher than that. B, I can't even. Tammy Hawk going with D, Pigeon Mac B, Lemon Pie and Reichardt B, The Nurse from Hell. Gala D, Sal D, Summit B. Lily Rose is going with A and Starfire D. Tammy, what song is that? What's the words? Amelia Dyer. 380. Don't do it when you want it. What? Frankie Goes to Hollywood? Relax. Don't do it. When you want to call. Relax. Don't do it. Amelia A. Purple D. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Frankie. Yep. I remember Frankie. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I mean, not personally. I don't know Frankie, or anybody in the band. I'm not even sure if there is really a Frankie in the band. But that was the name of the band. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Oh, the 80s. How many years did she do this? All these tunes running through my head. Well, you get rid of them and they get stuck in our head. Then you have room for new ones. That video was for real, LOL. JDR is going with D. Ten seconds. The correct answer to question 13 is D as in dog. She did this over a 30-year span. 30 years, 380 babies. It blows your mind. And yes, she was what they called a fixer, an adoptive placer. Women who were poor and could not afford to take care of their babies or any more would come to this lady and she would supposedly adopt them out to couples that wanted them. Sometimes they gave her what little they had, clothes, money, whatever, to make sure the child got, passed on to a good home. But they believe that she actually killed maybe as many as 410. Yeah. But 380 is where they pretty much stopped, counting. I mean, how do you need to know if she did any more? Are you sure it's not Barry Morphew Bobcat? All right, question 14. Andrea Yates should never have been left alone with her children. People wrongly blame her husband for what she did. She lied to everyone, didn't take her medication. How long did it take her to kill all 5 of her children? Was it A, 5 hours, B, 10 hours, C, 24 hours, or D, 1 hour? Heaven help us all. Yes. Damn it, dog just spilled a ball of cottage cheese in my lap. Oh, I'm sorry, Tammy. He deserves to be blamed, JDR says. I mean, he definitely, responsible, for a good portion of what she did, because she had post-traumatic stress, and postpartum depression is on top of it. But I mean, but she should never have been left alone with her children. Took her out of the mental institution. Yeah, he stopped all therapy because she convinced him that she was good and that there was nothing wrong, and she was all better. She lied to her doctor, she lied to her husband, she lied to anyone and everyone. And then she stopped taking her medication on top of it all. So there's more than enough blame to go around there, but a lot of people blame him directly and only him. That's just wrong. But when it comes right down to it, she never should have been left alone with her kids. That's it. That's the bottom line. But how long did it take her to do what she did? 5 hours, 10 hours, 24 hours, or an hour? Anyhow, she's still in the hospital. She will be at the state hospital for the rest of her life. He would let her tie he would let them tie her tubes religious. Yeah. I heard something about that, Sal. The other one cleaned it up. Wouldn't. Yeah, I read something about their their religious background and why birth control wasn't an option, tubes tied or anything else. Messed up case, one way or another. Well, at least Tammy's, you're gonna have to watch the doggy now. Make sure the doggy has the access to the outside. I thought you only had one bull mastiff. What's the other one? Are they bull mastiffs? He is one of those cult Christian religions that would not let their followers use birth control, just like the Duggars. Just like the Duggars, yeah, they all believe in this Christian fundamentalism, and they believe in the they follow the King James version, of the Bible, like almost literally. I mean, that's like the only things they listen to. That and their church elders. I have two. Oh, you have two English Mastiffs. Ah, well, put a saddle on them and ride them around. They're big doggies. It's common. I grew up in one. Mm. Quiverful religion. Yep. Wrangler is he that's what he follows. I don't know if y'all know who Wrangler is. Giddy up. All right. How long did it take her to do what she did? The correct answer is D as in dog, 1 hour. 1 hour. That is actually how I got the head injury. Story for another time. Riding a dog? Populate their earth with the followers. That's what cultists do. any religion can be a cult, depending upon how you follow it and how you practice the religion or the belief system. Catholicism, Mormon, Baptist, Judaism, Islam. It can all, be a cult. It all depends on how serious, and how closely you practice it, and everything else. All right, question number 15. Ed Kemper told law enforcement and the state of California if he's ever released, what is the first thing he will do after getting a cheeseburger with the works and a large fry and Diet Coke from In-N-Out? What will he do next? A, take a nap after eating all that. B, kill again. C, go to Disneyland. Or D, buy a gun. What did Ed Kemper, tell law enforcement and the state of California if he would do if ever released? One of us, one of us, one of us. I took my masters to Quickie Fruit Orchard with me. She ate fermented kiwi fruit, got drunk, and towed me around. David Koresh and Waco are back on Netflix. You won't buy a gun in California. Not legally. Not legally, Gayla. You're absolutely right about that. But, I mean, if you got cash in your hand, it ain't that hard to find a gun. Not in America. I see people, still selling them online openly on Facebook. They call it bang bangs or pow pows. They use code words for it. Anybody who's actually looking for it, what they're talking about. Or, hey, I have this ammo for sale. If you want to buy it, I know, I might have some other things that I'm throwing in. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm going to pay $300 for a box of ammunition. I wonder what they're really selling there. I see it all the time. And blatant, disregard for the law. I almost said C, go to Disneyland. North Carolina just got rid of permits to carry handguns. Conceal carry, so everybody can conceal carry or open carry. Washington State, where I live, we are an open carry, but you have to have a permit, CC license to conceal carry. NZ has really strict gun laws. You can still get them quite easily. Dope on a rope. Open and conceal. They've got rid of the permitting requirements, huh? What about Texas? Anybody live in Texas? What do you have to do in Texas to, for a gun? Go open a bank account. They still hand out rifles when you open a bank account. I actually had that. I'm not kidding. That was a real thing. I was probably in my early 20s, and I was in. Geez, where the fuck were we? When were we in Wyoming, in Cheyenne? I gotta think about that for a second. But anyways, my friend went to open a bank account, and he actually got a free shotgun for opening up a bank account. I think he had to put like $1,000 and open up the account, and they got a free shotgun. It was a piece of crap shotgun, but it was still free. My hubby wants to move to North Carolina now. People steal legitimate firearms and sell them privately. I'm in Canada. Most of us don't want guns except for hunting. I have several rifles and shotguns. I won't say how many, but I have several. And I have several handguns. Whenever I travel, I always have, my concealed carry on me. Because you never know. Some of the times when I go to, interview people, you just never know the circumstances you're walking into. Audrey Hale was mentally ill and she illegally purchased firearms at local gun shops in Nashville. Yeah, I was reading about that, Reichert. She went to like 5 different stores and purchased all that stuff. But she did legally purchase them all. A free one for opening up an account. That's insane. Yeah, little Aussie Lily Rose. That was a while back. Yeah, close to 30 years ago. I mean, then again, when I was in high school, it wasn't uncommon at all to see in a pickup truck a gun rack in the back window with 1 or 2 and a fishing rod, in a back window of a pickup truck. That was just everywhere. I mean, it's not like today. You pull into a high school parking lot now and you saw something like that, people would freak the hell out. They're like, oh my God, there's a gun in the parking lot. So different times. But it wasn't uncommon at all to see a gun rack in the back of a pickup truck. A fishing rod and maybe a 410, or 30-06 or something was hanging, right there in the window. You never worried about people breaking in and stealing your gun, your rifle, shotgun, or whatever you might have in there. Different times for sure. Yeah. One of my family members bought a gun at a gun show and later got arrested because it was stolen from a marshal and used to red rum murder that marshal. Luckily, they had the receipt. Oh, man. I mean, before the laws changed, I mean, I've openly purchased, handguns in a Taco Bell parking lot. I bought a little Jennings 22 off this guy. I couldn't tell you if I know it wasn't registered. I know that much. When I purchased it, I met him through, I want to say, gun brokers, or in a forum or someplace like that. People have gun racks here not only for safety but to stop people from stealing them. Rural properties are deliberately targeted. Where I live, it's pretty much rural. We're about 7 miles outside of town in a subdivision that was meant for scientists. And a lot of them moved out of the area and has left all these homes here. We got it for a pretty good price. All right, question 15. The answer to what Ed Kemper would do after enjoying his cheeseburger with the works, large fry, and a Diet Coke from In-N-Out is, he said, if he was ever let out of there, he would start killing again. B as in boy is the correct answer to question 15. So, how did you do tonight on the trivia? Did you get 12 to 15, 8 to 11, 4 to 7, or 1 to 3? Or E, mountain lion riding in a Yugo while smoking meth level? When my dad died, someone broke in and stole his Mini 13. Starfire. E. Honest Ed. Yeah, the entire thing of what he said was he knows that there is no way that if he is ever let out, that he wouldn't, go right back to what he was doing before. And he knows that he can't be free because he knows he'd go right back to doing what he was doing before. Hey, for the first time, I passed with flying colors. There you go, Pigeon Mac, or Mac Pigeon. Burnt the mountain lion, whiskers off, smoking death. Purple, got an A. Wow, I certainly do appreciate everyone being here tonight for trivia. I hope you enjoyed the questions. If you did, don't forget to give this a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know if there's something, a subject matter you'd like to see covered. Because right now, I don't have any more of these, already, finished up. So it's a blank slate. So next week, if you suggest something, I might be able to do it for next week. Love how Ed wanted a Diet Coke with a huge order, right? Thank you, Will and community. I was having. It's been fun, guys. Next week, same time, same station. Yes, Tammy. Every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 4 p.m. is when I start, the live stream. So judge accordingly. Alter that to whatever time zone you're in. Thank you, Will and community. I've had a tough week. The company and humor is very much appreciated. Oh, I'm glad you're here with us, Amelia. Do gruesome twosome murders, Will. Gruesome twosome. I will write it down. Can't guarantee anything, but I can definitely write it down. Gruesome twosome. The only mob boss to meet his end in the electric chair. Mob boss. All right, I'm mob boss. Yeah, the only mob boss to ever be electrocuted. It's a good question. 70s and 80s TV. Will is back. I'm here. 12 lunchtime Monday here. Stay safe out there, Will. You never know who's standing next to you. You never know who's going to knock on your door. That is true, Purple. That is very true. Family Annihilators. Family Annihilators they're a different group of Murder Incorporated. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Will. Awesome trivia night. You stay safe out there. Yes, Ed Kemper loves to kill. Depending on how twisted the grown-ups are in the practice. Don't open your door ever. Guard your peace and trust yourself, everyone. How about a night of loiterers? Take a nap. Love many, trust few. Always paddle your own canoe. I like that. I like that, Amelia. That's a good one. Love many, trust few. Always paddle your own canoe. Purple Winks, ask Lamont to stay off properties where they don't allow filming. Did you catch his what did his how long his live stream this afternoon last? What, 10 minutes? And then his gimbal died. I was like 5 minutes late, joining it. I said hello Lamont or howdy Lamont, and then his gimbal died right after that, and then it's like beep, he ended it. Lamont on the run. Lamont at large. Love Lamont's content. They called the cops on Lamont the other day. Yeah, I saw that video. Shh, Interpiece, that was our secret. Who's Lamont? Amelia, that he's a YouTuber. His channels are called Lamont on the Run and Lamont at Large. Those are two different channels that he does. He does more than that. He does another channel called Fascinating Graveyards. But those are the three main ones. He also has what I think it's Black Bigelow, or Big Bigelow. I don't follow that one anymore. But I watch Fascinating Graveyards, Lamont on the Run, and Lamont at large. At Large, On the Run, and Fascinating Graveyards. Lamont at Large is epic. Paul Bernardo crimes. Paul Bernardo. He puts the M in morbid. Later on. Yeah. Sanford and Sons, Lamont was dummy. Lamont, Sanford and Sons. Now I got that song in my head. Red Fox. You like Lamont too? Ooh, a lot of people that are subscribers to my channel that are also subscribers to Lamont. He gave me a shout out, not too long ago, probably about a month ago or so. It was really nice of him to do that. I really appreciate it. Bye, guys. See y'all next week, my peeps. We'll see you too. You stay safe out there, Tammy. Until next time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up too. I really want to thank everyone for being here today. I hope you enjoyed, the trivia tonight. Again, if you think of something later on that you want to comment, content-wise that you'd like to see covered on trivia, go ahead and fire a comment back on this live stream, or you can go to my community tab and leave a message there on one of my posts. I read them all. I may not have the chance to reply to everybody, but I read just about every message that's ever sent. So thank you again, everyone. You all take care. Until next time. And remember, as Purple says, you never know who's standing next to you or who's going to come a knocking on your door. And that is true. Do you guys have to renew the gun license annually? Asking as a foreigner. Be nice to anyone. Here where I live, you have to, when it comes to your concealed carry permit, you do have to, I think it's every 2 years, or maybe it might be longer than that. I'd have to look at it again. But thank you again. Very true.